Welcome to today's Daily Dose. I'm TJ Norman. We're continuing to look at the good news of Mark. We're looking at Mark chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. He looked around at them in anger and deeply distressed at their stubborn hearts and said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out and his hand was completely restored. Then the Pharisees went out and began to plot with the Herodians about how they might kill Jesus. In these passages, we witness a moment of intense emotion in Jesus. Anger is a powerful emotion, and how we use it determines whether it will be constructive or destructive. Let's explore the passage and we learn from Jesus' example, and we look at his anger. It's interesting. Jesus looked around at the Pharisees with anger and deep distress at their stubborn hearts. His anger was not selfish, but stemmed from his compassion and desire for justice. Anger is like a gunpowder. Whether it's good or bad depends on how you use it. In this scene, both forms of anger are present. The Pharisees' anger, they had criticized Jesus multiple times for forgiving the paralytic sins, for eating with sinners, and the disciples for plucking grain on the Sabbath. Now they dared him to heal on the Sabbath. Their anger was destructive. It led them to plot with the Herodians, their political enemies, to kill Jesus. Destructive anger focuses on getting even and punishing rather than healing and restoring. We see Jesus' righteous anger. And is it ever right to be angry? Jesus was. An example shows us that righteous anger can stir us to fight injustice. The human emotion of anger is meant to stir us to take action. Individually, you cannot tackle all the wrongs in society, but you can do at least one thing. Get angry at the right way about something that God wants corrected, releasing that emotion in a way that heals rather than destroys. That's what Jesus did. He used his emotion rather than letting the anger use him. Constructive anger never sins. It always does the right thing in the right way with the right spirit. Destructive anger kills. The Pharisees and the Herodians, who were natural enemies, united together their anger against Jesus. Their anger overrode all of their passions and led to destructive alliance. The Apostle Paul tells us in Ephesians 4:26, "In your anger, do not sin." Destructive anger's goal is to destroy, get even, and punish. Avoid letting anger lead us to sin. Use your emotions to motivate you to fight against injustice. Find a cause that aligns with God's heart and get involved. Be mindful of how our anger and emotions affect us in our relationships and our actions. Seek to be constructive in your responses. Remember, Jesus told us the greatest commandment is to love God, and the second is to love others. If we are truly doing what God wants us to do, we will be doing those things. Thank you for joining me on today's Daily Dose. Let's go forth in a renewed commitment to use our emotions constructively in following Jesus' examples.